Hey guys, welcome back to DMAC Customs. Dave here in the garage on the YouTube. Okay, bomb truck, bonnet up, ominous. Okay, bomb truck, bonnets up, bonnets, plural because it's kind of got two of them like a beetle. Got to do some work on the old neglected bomb truck, right? Because it's kind of come to a head now. I'll explain right after the intro. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, like, share, comment, any of that kind of stuff if you feel like it. But yeah, let's get at it. Okay, so if you've been here on the channel, watching the channel, following the channel for a little while, you probably know the bomb truck and you know that it's getting neglected because this thing takes up 99% of my free time. But I've been promising to do some stuff and do some maintenance and stuff like that on the old bomb truck. And it's coming to a head now. We've got a water pump leak that we need to address. Got to do front brake pads. Got to do one of the universal joints. Can't remember which one it is now. Excuse the old washing machine going on in the background. And obviously stuff like needs a oil change, and I think it might need plugs or something because I went on a run out to a little hot rod show thing. Well, it's actually turned out quite a big hot rod show thing yesterday, and it come back running rough, like it's got a kind of boggy, kind of flat spot thing going on. I'm not sure whether it's fuel or spark or something more ominous, but it's also got a bit of kind of tappet noise, lifter noise sort of thing, just faintly at certain just off idly rev ranges for things. So I need to have a look at the valve lash and stuff just to make sure nothing's kind of doing anything too untoward there. So I'm getting a bit of a list, and I think I might need to actually write some shit down. But first up, I've got to clear some space so I can work and drain the radiator and see if I can get this water pump off without having to take the radiator out. That would be ideal, but it may have to come out, which means quite a bit more disassembly of different things to get said radiator out, because it won't want to come easy, I tell you. And then we'll start looking, hopefully get that sealed up again, and then maybe look at why it's running rough, as well as doing the brakes and all that kind of stuff. So we've got a bit of work to do on this. It might not be all in this video. It probably won't, because I've got a funny feeling I might end up having to get some parts and stuff. So we'll just start working through in the next video or two on the old bomb truck, sort of trying to get some stuff sorted and dialed in on that. Because in about a month we have an event here called it's up the line a little bit, called the Nostalgia Drags, and I actually won the naming sponsorship thing for it this year, because I design all the t-shirts and stuff like that and posters and shit. I'm classed as a sponsor, and it goes in, my name went into a draw, and I won the naming rights for the whole event. So I'm not really sure what that means. I haven't actually been before. All these years I've been doing the artwork for it, and I've never actually gone to the Nostalgia Drags. So I know, slack, but hot rod hermit. Yeah, I thought it would be quite cool to take the old bomb truck down the track. I think it heard me, and it doesn't want to, because now it's running like a bag of shit. But anyway, I'll clean up some stuff and get into it. Oh, if you notice these here, Marketplace score. Another set of Steelies that I'll use on the 51, not in red. They are in much better condition than the ones I got with the 51, so it means way less prep work and stuff like that. And it got them on a really good deal. I actually felt guilty. Highway robbery is a crime after all. Yeah, so got me some wheels. Two different types of tyres. So there's one odd tyre, one's a bit skint. But yeah, they're neither here nor there. It was the rims I was really after, so they're in real good order. So I would say they haven't spent much time even on a car, gauging by the old lug nuts sort of stuff and lack of weights and scratches and stuff. So choice. That was a good score. Anyway, let's get into it. And let's Sunday morning. Let's go. Okay, first step. Let's get this thing draining. Now, if you look up in there, there's a little petcock on the radiator on this little mamma jamma. So I will start draining it with that. So I'd hopefully minimise the amount of stuff I dump all over the floor. Let's see if I can get this torch hooked up. It's got a magnet on it, but it's pretty weak. Get the tray under. Just fits under that little skinny little sway bar. Wouldn't mind a more beefy one for this, but I can't find one yet. That's a XJS Series 2 Jag sway bar. That's 19mm, and they did a bigger one, sports one sort of thing. But I haven't been able to track one down, but I haven't looked all that hard. Well, you can probably still get them, but brand new, pricey. I was looking for a second-hand alternative. But anywho, so we'll let that drain off. Might take this cap off. There we go, now she's cooking. And then start taking some stuff apart. The old battery. I'll just go this. Even keep a spanner in there just for this very thing. Might just pull that, unless I take the positive off as well, but probably should be on the safe side. Yeah, there we go. Discode the battery. So right. Is that overflowing yet? Nope. I'll start with some, I'll do a 1/2 inch maybe, and something smaller, 3/8. I think that'll do us to get us started over here. Need some light. Bought this little LED light. It's got like torch, bright, not quite so bright, and disco police. I don't know why, but it's got that. But anyway, see if we can go like that. That's not bad. Anyway, battery's disconnected, so I'll take that off of there. Yeah, well, that's where I'm going to take the. Oh, what size is that then? 7/16. It's an odd size. Give it a try. Nope. I don't know what that is. Probably some kind of metric oddball thing that I jammed on there at some point, but 10mm maybe. Could be a 10mm, but we'll give it a try. Don't know why it would be, but look at that. It is 10mm. Get that out of the way. Put that back on so I don't lose it. And go to there. Yeah. Loosen that up. Probably do with a new fan belt on here too, or a couple new belts. I'm getting a bit of belt squeakage, which makes me think these belts are getting a bit old. Okay, got it. Alright, I'll take that out of the way.
I'm gonna get that out. Something I never considered. This belt's never been off since I built this truck. Oh yeah, can get it past there.
It's a little bit shiny and a little bit, you can see where it's been slipping, so.
Find it. Ah, there it is. Just leave that on there. Okay. Can't actually get that bolt out with the radiator in, which will make putting this back together tricky. So I'm going to have to do these 2 water pump bolts and get this bracket off here, I think. There's a big spacer, which is getting a bit squished on the end. Crikey. Oh, so close. I'll get that. Oh, flap her up. Got it. Woohoo! Okay, don't mind the washing machine. This is where I suspect we've been getting leakage. It's down here. See? And then it's been running down under there. So there's all bits of silicone all kind of squeezing out and peeling off around there. So, but if I take the pump out, it'll give me an opportunity to
Have a looky-see and see what the weep hole's doing as well, just in case there's more coming from in there or whatever. But I think it's just that gasket's kind of gone burger, you know. So gotta crack those. I've got to do that bottom hose, and then I've got to figure out what's holding the power steering pump on to the water pump, what kind of fastens. I've got to suspect it's probably an Allen head or a cap screw type of deal, so hopefully I can get to those and get that undone. I've never been able to adjust it because I just can't get in there to adjust that belt, but I think it's relatively tight. But she's a bit squeaky. Anywho, right. Yeah, it's one of them. How many is there? 2. Oh, she's tight. Ugh. Ow. Ah. That was good. That's my ratchet and socket way down there. So I just got to dig those out and get back to it. Ah, yeah, bugger. For some reason I was expecting longer bolts, but what is that? I don't know where that one went, but probably in my container of antifreeze. Ah, that's where I'm supposed to be unbolting that pump from. Anywho, alright, got me an Allen key because it is cap screws in here of some sort. Might need some sort of strong arm, stronger than my arm. You have to excuse, I have to duck away for a minute there and hang out the washing. Man's work's never done. Okay, crank it up a little bit. Come on. Okay, so I got real frustrated with trying to undo that thing, you know, that way, quarter of a turn at a time. So I went and found a Allen key that I had previously cut down. I'm going to wedge it into a socket so it doesn't fall out all the time. like that. Yeah, might need to whack that or something. Okay, so that's well and truly wedged in there with some masking tape. So I hope they'll be able to get a socket onto that now.
Oh, look at that. That's the business. Oh. Right, got all the bolts out. Now I've got to see if I can get this pump out without having to take the radiator out. It would be... Oh, it's still attached to the Damn it. Okay. Oh yeah, it's attached down there. What do we got holding that on? Another hex head. I'll get this belt out the way. There it is. Alright, just go that from there and that come up through here. Yes it can. Yeah boy.
Okay, so my Harry Flash bloody light didn't last all that long, but guess you get what you pay for. Mind you, I paid a decent amount of money for it. I probably would have hoped it would last better than that. So water pump's off. Where's the weep hole? There is a little bit of a track running from there, from that weep hole, but I don't know, it doesn't, I don't know whether it is a serious leakage or not. The main leak was coming from this side here. I didn't realise that these bottom bolts on these water pumps, mind it's the first time I've ever taken the water pump off this, I think. I've had small block Chevys before, but I've never actually done a water pump on one. So, testament. Probably just didn't own them long enough. But yeah, so got that out. Now managed to, like I said, I didn't realise that the bottom bolts actually went into the water jackets, and as soon as I undid those, more water came out, missed my drain tray. So yeah, we've got a good kind of puddle of coolant underneath the truck now, so hopefully I won't be laying down under there trying to get this back together. Shouldn't do. Yeah, I need another light over there so I can clean up all that area, and then I'll come back and clean up this water pump. Okay, check it out. So this is the side that was leaking, I think. So I don't think there was any gaskets on there. I think they were just, there's remnants of gaskets, but there doesn't appear to be enough remnants. This looks like it was mostly just silicone, so yeah. So I've just got to kind of clean all that up and whatnot. I'll get my little razor blade scraper out, scrape all the rest of that stuff off. Like, yeah, it is. It's all just, yeah, it's all just silicone. There's no paper gaskets on there. It's probably one of those age-old arguments. What's better, the paper gasket or the yeah, so if you look on there, there's no paper gaskets on there either. It's all just been RTV, you know. I reckon if you could get it to seal with paper gaskets, that's the way to go. Just from my experience, one time I had my first V8, it had like silicone everywhere, like they'd siliconed everything on to do with the cooling system. And it just squeezed in to the cooling system, and then kind of over time worked its way through, blocked up the radiator. Long story short, heat seized about 400k away from home. So but I was pretty young and naive at that stage, well, younger and naiver than I am now. But yeah, so that's kind of why I try to keep that silicone to a minimum, like so you don't squeeze a ton of it into there. Maybe just use it for locating your gaskets maybe, but you don't want to be totally reliant on it, I reckon. But I got some gaskets, probably still going to use some RTV on there to locate it, because this is going to be a bitch to get back in with everything in the way, and then trying to line up a whole menagerie of spaces on the old the power steering pump that's kind of got to go in there. So yeah, not quite sure how this is gonna go, but in saying that, the pump came out of there relatively easily, so I hopefully will be able to finagle it back in, if you know what I'm saying. Now I'm stalling because this sort of stuff is a pain in the ass when you know, it's great to build a motor on a stand, but man, it's a mission when you're inside trying to do stuff. Imagine having to work on some of this late model stuff. Couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. You spend like 17 hours disassembling 90% of the car to change it, do a 10-minute job, and then reassemble it all back up. There's so much stuff in them. That's where old hot rods are bad enough, but they're simple enough, if you know what I mean. Anywho, I might go and get me a drink of water. Definitely not much on there, but we'll go and do the other side. I'll give the whole area a bit of a clean up as well, some brake clean, and there's a bit of, you know, road grimy seepage and stuff like that. A bit of a scrub with some red scotch as well, just to, I don't know, hopefully take off the last of any silicone and stuff that's left behind. Oh, missed. Still getting a lot of coolant coming out that bottom hole. I want to try and minimize that, so when I put my sealant and that on there and RTV in the old bolt hole, because I will be doing that, it kind of is out of the way, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't want to have, oh God, I'm having trouble talking. I'm going to put RTV on those bolts and in those holes to help kind of seal up, you know, the threads and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Unless I've got some proper thread sealer, Loctite stuff, I can't remember. But otherwise it'll just be RTV. And you know, because I suspect that's where my leak was coming from. The two bolts on the right hand side, when I undid them, they're actually quite loose, the water pump bolts. So over time they've probably just kind of worked their way loose, and then the old RTV gasket has kind of broken its seal, and then Bob's your auntie. You know, like, it's not sealing anymore, and it's not tight, and coolant starts weeping out, you know. So I gotta try and make sure I can get everything tight and sealed, so I'm not doing this again in a couple of weeks. You know what I mean? Okay, so I finished cleaning up what I'm cleaning up, try and get a little bit of that, more of that coolant out of those bolt holes. I don't want to blow any air in there because it'll just blow it all around the place, and then it'll slosh back and whatnot. I learnt that the other time. So we'll just try and get it as dry as possible in those areas. Yeah. I kind of pretty much cleaned up that area, even kind of like gave that cross member a bit of a wipe and a little quick sand, and sprayed just a bit of black Rust-Oleum on there just to kind of seal up, because a lot of the paint that was on there was kind of getting eaten a bit by coolant, oil, antifreeze, whatever. Like, it was just coming off. So what did I use on that back in the day? I was told, yeah, use caliper paint, sticks to everything, sticks to cast iron. Probably sticks, maybe if I'd really roughed it up, it would have stuck to that cross member better, but that's a fight for another day. Today, water pump gaskets, and just having a bit of a clean up while I was in there. But going to clean up this water pump, get that ready to put back on. Find my gaskets, they're over there in that little red envelope, and make sure I've got some RTV, and start trying to put this thing back together. I suspect it's going to be difficult. And so that's all that was on there. It's just little remnants of some RTV left over, which is not really enough, I don't reckon. Not unless it's like a, you know, precision fit, which this is a small block shed, let's be honest. It's not a precision fit. get all that gunk out of there. Get a little brush and flush that stuff out. Ugh. Okay, so just giving all the bolts for the water pump a bit of a clean up, get all the old silicone and crap off them. Noticed this one had been cut down, but cut down rough, so I just cleaned up the edge. I didn't notice that one was slightly shorter when I took it apart, so now I've got to figure out which one goes where on that part of the assembly. Yeah, because if it's too long, oh, hang on, got a fingerprint. Sorry, had a fingerprint on the screen, like big greasy glycol covered fingerprint. What was I saying? So if one of those bolts is too long, then I'll never get that side to seal, and I'll just have a water leak on the other side of my water pump. Not ideal. So I'll dig out my gaskets and stuff, and start like figuring out how I'm going to get this back together. I should really figure out which of these bolts go where. Because the cap screw side, there's that bottom one, the littlest one I think is that last one down the bottom. Yeah, I think. And I've got to wrangle all these spacers, and that spacer goes in down the bottom, and these two are on the top too. But I've got to figure out which bolt goes where. What am I missing? Okay, so I might do a trial run before I do the gaskets. Is that going to be a pain in the ass? It might help me ascertain, you know, which of those bolts goes where. Maybe I could just do some measuring or something. I don't know how they could be different. They look in there. They go through there, those ones there, and that short one goes through there. So that one there goes through there, and then there's a spacer and stuff in between and whatnot. I've just got the pump hanging off that bolt there at the moment, just for get it out the way business. We'll have a look. Okay, so just spent the last 4 minutes looking for my camera because I couldn't remember where I put it. Got that sitting in place, so I might just run that in. That's the longest one. I've got a feeling it shouldn't make any difference, but I don't know why. I don't know why there's one being cut down. So, but looking at the spacers are the same. This distance here is the same. That distance there should be the same. I didn't actually check it before bolting that up, but that should be the same. So I'll just quickly run this longest bolt in, and then I'm going to measure the difference, and that should give me an idea, an indicator of spacer versus power steering pump bracket and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, just double handling. I know it sucks, but I'll just quickly do that and then we'll have a look. Okay, so like I haven't wound it all the way until it wouldn't go in any further. I've got a little, about 1/8 of an inch down here, and that's the spacer that's got to go, you know, like there. The cap screws are countersunk into this bracket, so that would kind of account for that 1/8 inch there. So I don't know why one's been cut shorter. Maybe it's on the water jacket side they cut it shorter just for water flow or something like that. So maybe I'll put the shorter one in the water jacket side, because they're not going to bottom out. That's what I was worried about, that it would bottom out and I wouldn't be able to get it tight. So crisis averted. Yeah. Right, now I've got to take that back out again and then do some you know, gasketing and stuff. Are these gaskets the same? They should be. Yeah. And yeah, see if I can get this in. I wonder if I actually leave the pump sitting in there and then just slide the gaskets in and then work the bolts in and stuff while it's in there. Is that feasible? Just a little bit of sealant on there. Don't know, we'll see. I want to add too, like, see this here? See this? Like, it wasn't me. That was like that when I bought this motor. So that's been cranked up to 11. Surprised it doesn't leak. It's just a little bit too much. Like, you know, it's warped now. Like that pan comes off due to it leaking. Sorry, that timing chain cover. Probably never get it to seal again without hammering it up straight and stuff like that. it's just like being cranked on there. So you don't want to do that. Just, I don't know, there's a torque spec, I don't know what it is, it's probably bugger all, but it's probably enough to, you know, get a good seal without bending the stuff, you know. Just saying.
Right, pulled the pump back out because I also forgot I needed to dry out the threads a bit better, which I have now executed with the utmost precision. And now I just got to finagle this back in here, and I'm going to put the gaskets on with it sitting like that. You know what I'm saying? There's a bit of room, I can push the shroud back. The pump is horrendously close. So yeah, that's my plan. This is going to be a pain, trying to get this in there with my fat hands and stuff in the way. Can I do this blind from here? Nope.
Hey guys, so update. Water pump's all bolted back in. Power steering pump is bolted back in with its little spaces and stuff. It was a bit of a shit fight, to be fair. Yeah, there was crying and swearing and stamping of feet and things like that. But now we're kind of back into the crying and swearing and stamping of feet, trying to get the the power steering pump belt back on, because the adjuster is there, like in there, like the nut is in there, and I can get a 9/16 socket in there with a concoction like this. Hopefully, it's just taken me the last half an hour to figure that out, so I'm just trying to like loosen that off. But neck problem, we haven't got much room. Like, this is going to hit the head. This little thing here that I'm pointing my grubby fingernail at, that thing there on the back of the pump, that's going to swing up and hit the head. We'll just soldier on and try to get this belt back on. Like the old bending over the thing, it's just the back and the hamstrings are all tightening up and stuff. I was hoping to be done with this by now, but we're not. So, but yeah, the longer it takes to monkey around putting it back together, the more the sealant's got a chance to cure. So we'll carry on. Let's do it. We got it. This swivelly thing is a pain. I can get the socket on there, but as soon as I start trying to do anything, the swivelly thing kind of soaks up whatever I get going, you know. Okay, so went down to local like kind of parts shop, tools and crap like that, and they were next to useless. They had nothing, so I had to drive another 15 or 20 minutes to get me some long sockets, because hopefully they're not too long. Because I can get a 9/16 socket onto that adjuster nut, but I can't get a ratchet or anything, even a strong arm or anything on there. And if I put a little extension on there, it's too long and it gets in the way. So I'm hoping this will work. So let's give it a try. Oh yeah, dirty dog. See. Okay, alright. Uh-oh. Damn it. Socket's stuck in there now. Okay, so
my long socket didn't work, so I got a little bit of 12mm square bar and cut it down to 10mm and jammed that in there, and it worked. I should have done that all along. It would have saved me an hour of driving around the place, but you know, here we have it. Right, what was I doing? Oh, that's right. Let's see. Come up now. Can I get this belt on? Gosh, it still doesn't want to come on. Jeez. Jeez Louise, man. We'll do that groove and then leap it over. Oh, that's a shit fight. Oh, here we go. Pushing it the wrong way. Come on. Yeah. How about that, eh? So, now I've got to lever that up. Get that tight. Alright. Try it again. How did that fly get in here? I've got all the doors shut. Oh, come on. Ah. How does that feel now? Might be alright. Still feels a bit loose, but you don't want to, excuse me, you don't want them too tight though, eh? Because it can then damage your pump. Crank that one up, and then jerry rig tool number 2. Tighten that back one up. There, what's that like there? Should be alright. At least I know I can tighten it and stuff if I need to now. I'll adjust it. Right. Okay, what a mission that was. And I still got to get the alternator back on yet. Where have we got that? Got it all laying back here with our bracket tree. I was going to get new belts, but I forgot. And I probably could have got them from the place I went to just before, but no, we'll see how this goes anyway. We may, even though I might end up coming on and off again and on and off again. Excuse me, multiple times. So, next up, alternator bracketry. Alright, that actually went a little bit easier than I thought it was going to, so choice. What do we got now? The top bracket. That's how I had it running, hey? I think. Alright, top bracket, adjuster bracket, whatever you want to call it. That'll go over there. Like so. I need to get the belt on there. Uh-oh. Okay, got the belt on. Just got to pinch these mamma jammers here up, like so. Yeah. There we go. That one, I think that's tight already. Yeah. Whew. Right. I'll wind that in a little bit. Now, I just got to pry that thing up and tighten her up. What size was that? Is it 9/16 as well? Yup. What's that? Oh no, it's a half. Zip shit.
that up. Whoop. I'm going to keep this Chevrolet special tool number 2679B-9428.4 because I'll probably need it again in the future and save me making another one. Okay, so that's that done essentially. I'm not going to put any coolant back into it just yet because I want to kind of give it a kind of, oops, that doesn't go there, the best chance it can have, if you know what I mean, like getting that stuff to the RTV on the threads on the bolts to dry cure properly. So you know, just give it the best chance. I don't want to be impatient and, you know, like throw some coolant in it and it's not quite cured up and then try to fire it up, see whether it leaks and cause a leak, if you know what I mean. I'd rather kind of let it bed in, do its thing, chuck and wang, and yeah, and we'll put the coolant in it tomorrow or something, you know, back at work tomorrow, but maybe tomorrow night or something, and see what happens. But in the meantime, I've still got to do, I don't want to do these, excuse me, I don't want to do these brake pads because I've got like coolant all over the floor now as well, so I don't want to kind of be doing that there. So I might, this is one of the other things I need to do. I've got to go around and do a bit of a nut and bolt check, but I've also got to do this universal joint on the drive shaft. I've got to look up the paperwork to see which one they said had play in it. I had a look under there a while back, well, just after I got the warrant, had a little wig around there, but I couldn't see any movement in either of them, so I'm only going on what the warrant of fitness man said, you know, so he could have been really levering on it, I don't know, so I don't know how hard they pull on them to see what's going on with them, but yeah, so we've got to do that. Still got the running bad issue, which could be any number of things. It could be as simple as my idle mixture on this Edelbrock 750 Performer Edelbrock carbureting thingamy-bob. It's always done it. One of the mixture screws kind of backs out. It used to do it when I had it on my 65 Plymouth, on my 383 and that, and it's done it on this, and I haven't actually touched it for ages. So as we mentioned earlier, the old bomb truck's been really neglected, tuning, cleaning, maintenance and stuff like that. Got an oil change a little while ago, but it's probably due for another one. Yeah, so maybe go around and sort of make sure the carb's all tightened down, there's no vacuum leaks and stuff like that. I doubt it. It doesn't seem like a vacuum leak the way it's behaving. It feels more like a bad spark or even a little bit of fuel issue sort of thing. Don't know. It's kind of, yeah, it does some weird shit anyway. But yeah, so I'm just going to put all this stuff away, reset, so we can start again on the next bit, which will probably be a bit of a nut and bolt while we've got the bonnet up, and then yeah, we might have to look at pulling this drive shaft or having a good look at it anyway, see what's going on. I'll just give these a little bit of a look at. Oh, they're nice and good. That one's a little bit soft, but I wouldn't have thought enough to cause any kind of leakage. That one's a little bit, but not much. That does seem to be moving quite a lot. Is that stripped or something? Doesn't look it. I'll check the nut. No, that looks good.
Anyway, I'll tighten this down and then move on to the next thingy-bob, whatever that might be. Yeah, that's tightening down. I wonder, excuse me, I wonder if that could have had a bit of a vacuum leak. I don't know, but like, it's just that one corner of the carb was just kind of real soft feeling, and it was, you know, tension there, but just weird. But anyway, I know I've got a little bit of a chuff on this exhaust flange somewhere. I just need to pinch that up, but can't remember what size it is. Won't be a half, I doubt. It'll be more likely a 9/16. One of these ones. Okay, so tightened up that flange as I suspected. It was chuffing a little bit. I noticed ages ago and I didn't do anything about it, so I thought I'd actually throw a spanner on it now while I was thinking about it. And yeah, they were a little bit loose, so I just kind of pinched those up. All the other side was fine because I had that side off a while ago, trying to chase a water leak. And yeah, manifold bolts are all good. They just didn't want to move, so I leave them alone. Don't want to snap those suckers off in the heads or anything. Jack this thing up, I guess, and let's have a look at this drive shaft. Is it door locked? It is. So got some paperwork in there that from the warrant of fitness place, which is like a vehicle inspection that we have to do 6 monthly on old shit like this. It's a nuisance, especially since it doesn't get the mileage sort of thing. Our daily drivers are 12 months because they're of a certain age. Let's see if I can find this. I think that might be it there, hopefully. Yeah, our vehicle inspection thing is called a warrant of fitness, and it used to be 6 months for everything, and then they changed it to vehicles post 2000 or something, a yearly. So yeah, our daily drivers are once a year, but they do heaps more miles, and these, you know, this would be lucky if it did a couple of thousand miles in 6 months, especially at the moment the way I'm using it, or lack of using it. But yeah, I'll have a quick look at this paperwork. This is a warrant sheet. Is this the one? Is there a date on it? Yep, that's the one. Front brake pads getting low, rear universal joint play developing. So it's the rear UJ, I thought it was, so not the front one. So yeah, we'll jack this thing up, get it on some stands, and then set about pulling the drive shaft out, which is easier said than done. Got a bunch of kind of other things I have to unbolt. Well, the part of the K-frame stuff I have to unbolt to get the drive shaft out. So let's get at it. Couple of little blocks under the wheels, I forgot about that, but remembered before it was too late. Probably put blocks under the back as well, back of that wheel, back of the seat. Get up under here. Right, so to pull this shaft out, I've got to take this little cross member here off, which is just for, I think they're 17 or 10 mil bolts, so it's 17 mil socket and spanner or something like that. And this is the UJ that they said had a bit of play starting in it, but alright, we'll replace it anyway. I can't. Just bird. Yeah, no, I can't.
can't feel anything, any plate in there, so I don't know. But anyway, we'll take it out. I need some tools. I don't know what yet. Probably should get a drain container for that, for the back of the transmission. On the whole, it's not too, it's holding up pretty well. This is all the K-frame that I explained in another video that I sort of built. Just don't look at the welds. It's ugly, but it's strong. Actually, don't look at the welds on the exhaust either. Come on, there we go. Make a nice little pile of nuts and bolts and washers. Chuck that under there, move that back so I forget about it and run that side over. So I chuck a pan under there just in case we drop any transmission fluid. And then we come back up here. Ugh. And is it 14 mil? No. That's right, it's 14 and 15. Awesome. Oh, and I need to put it into neutral. I might get a little bit of CRC onto these as well. Grab a 15 mil. Yeah. Out. You hear that? That little, I think that's what they mean. I couldn't feel or see anything when I had it still up under the truck, but now that it's out, I can get that little bit of play there. So I have to figure out how to change a universal joint. Looks pretty straightforward. Hopefully I've got the right one. Yeah, so we'll set about popping these clips and yeah, pushing this UJ out, I guess, somehow. Okay, so I think I had the GoPro on, like, I don't know, recording the side of the bench or something like that. I've pressed out one side of the UJ and that went quite well, but this one, this part here has got like a little dip thing, so as a kind of receiver I've got this old Jaguar brake piston that I've kind of precision machined it to be my receiver. So let's have a crack at it, see if we can get this to work. I know why it wasn't working. I hadn't pulled the pins out, the clips. Crack at pressing the new universal back in. Hopefully I get it right, don't break anything. Put a little bit of oil. Okay, so that actually went quite well, I think. Just got to put these clips in without having them spring off into the great blue yonder. I'm not quite sure the best practice for doing that, but I'll just have a crack at it. Do that. Must be an easy way. Just like that. Beauty, right. Now I've just got to put the long end on and we should be good to go. Oh, something I forgot to mention earlier as well is before I started putting these in, I got in with a bit of, where's it gone? Sandpaper. I had some sandpaper and I give them all a bit of a clean, like on the inside here, because that's what I've seen on YouTube. But I didn't show you fellas what I saw on YouTube. So, how does this kind of work? I should give it a gentle tap just to get them started gently. Fly. Okay, so just got to put the clips in there. I don't know how I'm going to do it this way, but maybe try hammering them. Yeah, that worked. Okay, so that's that UJ replaced. Had a bit of trouble getting the last part of it out, so on the other one, so I ended up just getting in there. I didn't want to kind of risk getting it all out of shape and stuff, but the bearings themselves, or the races, or the things actually looked okay. I don't know where the play must have just been pretty early on and its wear and stuff, but changed now, so hopefully that's all good. I'm going to grab my grease gun and pack that UJ full of grease, since it's actually got a grease nipple on it. This one here, the old one didn't, so we'll do that. What's going on? Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. I just got to tighten these up, do them all up. I had Loctite on them last time, but man, they were hard to get undone. And these are a special nut that is I can't remember what they're called. They're like a crown nut or something. Not a crown nut, but some kind of tapered nut that it's not supposed to be able to come undone. But I did Loctite them last time because I did find one loose, but I couldn't confirm or deny whether I'd actually just forgot to tighten one of the 4 up. So one was like half undone, but you know, I'm pretty sure I just didn't do it up, and it was like that for about a year. So this time I'm not going to Loctite it, but I will check in and just, you know, kind of make sure she's all good. Anyway, I'll tighten these up and then we'll check back in later on. I've been working on the railroad all a long time, and I seen nothing gonna be. I thought I told I. Yeah. Here we go. Gently does it. Okay, so back down on terra firma, drive shaft universal joint done. Sunday peak hour traffic, running out of day very quickly. I've still got to put the coolant back in to the truck, run it up to temp, see what it does, whether it squirts it all out there like a bloody fountain or what, I don't know. Done a bit of a nut and bolt around the front of the engine sort of thing, just checked a few things. I don't think that's the issue for the way it's running. That's kind of, but you never know. Gonna do hopefully a little quick feel-good project. I bought these little eyebrows at a swap meet a couple of months ago. Just haven't got off my ass to actually put them on. So hopefully they're going to be the right size. Yeah. So I'll do that quickly. Okay, so got these little eyebrows on. They're a little bit, I don't know, rinky-dink in the way they kind of held in, but I don't know, maybe I'll revisit it one day. I don't know, like otherwise you have fasteners coming through to the front, you know, it's sort of glue them on. It was surprisingly more of a kind of muck around trying to put them on. I thought I'd just undo a screw, take the ring off, put them in there, do it up, and she'd be done. But no, there's this dried out old rubber seal in there, and one of them was really dried out, one of them was still kind of rubberyish, which was kind of in the way, and it just, you know, simple little job turns into simple little shit fight. But that's where I'm going to leave it for today. Hopefully tomorrow night I'll get down here, put the coolant back in, and the screen is filthy on this. I've been, you know, dirty hands on the old camera, and then, you know, fire it up, run it up, see whether it leaks. If it leaks, I guess I'll have to redo it and try again. I hope not. That was like 4 hours of farting around trying to get the stuff in and out and line up all those spaces and rigmarole. But yeah, we got there in the end. But yeah, so my list, I've got a list, part of a list anyway. So the water pump, maybe. Rear UJ done. Still got to do the front pads. This is stuff. This is kind of a priority. That maybe later. Got to do that maybe later. Sick of it leaking. And they look a bit rude under there, the power steering lines that I've got in there. So, but not in this round anyway. But that'll come in some future episode on the old bomb truck, I think. But that's enough for today. See you tomorrow or maybe the next day. Hey guys, so next day, just topped off the radiator again and whatnot, you know, to put the coolant back in. So now I'm just going to reconnect the old battery and back her out onto the driveway, let her run up and get any air bubbles and that out, and then hopefully that's it. We'll have to see how she goes as far as whether I plugged up that leak or not. Fingers crossed, but you know, if you've been watching the channel for a little while, it's usually the second or third time before I get it right. So we'll see how this goes. Anyway, battery. That's what I was talking about. It goes away a bit when it warms up, but it's definitely quite clattery when it's cold. So hey guys, so topped off, up to temperature, all that kind of stuff. Seems to be alright. Seems to be going okay. That tappet's quieting down. Hopefully you noticed that in the last little bit of video there. But yeah, as I said, it's pretty noisy. On this right hand bank at the rear, I think I can hear it. You know how that stuff travels. So I will, in the very near future, whip those tappet covers off and have a look at what I can see up top, and maybe do the valve lash clearances, stuff like that. Take it from there. Just giving it a bit of movement. She's up to temp, the fans have come on. Not making another funny noise, but I think it's the belts. I probably should have replaced those belts, but I forgot about it when I went down to the car parts place. But yeah, she seems to be alright. She started like really quickly. Run over a couple of pensioners, but they were just meandering across the road, eating his dinner from the old takeaway shop. But had a little bit of a you go sort of thing, but it's alright. Got good steel bumpers. I'm just joking, we wouldn't want to hurt some old bloke, you know. Maybe that loose carb stud had a little bit of a bearing on it. It seems to be going actually maybe a little bit crisper, but it's still not right. There's still something going on, so it lifted, ticking the layer a little bit again. Yeah, see that? Bogging out. Oh well, tune up. See if we can make it go a bit better. Oh, and brakes. Yeah. Now we have to wait and see whether it's going to leak again. So I might grab some newspaper or something and chuck that underneath and see whether we get any little puddles and stuff forming underneath the front of the truck. And hopefully not. But yeah, that loose stud I think might have helped a little bit, but as you heard there, when you kind of give it a punch, it just bogs out. So got some new leads and some new plugs on the way. Ordered them today, so they'll be here hopefully by the end of the week, maybe. Pardon me. So I can do plugs and leads as a good starting point, because these plugs and leads have been in here since I got this motor, and I got this motor second hand, and so the plugs and leads were second hand when I got it, and that was about 8 years ago. So it's due for a set of plugs at the very least. So I thought I'll do the leads at the same time, and yeah, we might kind of have a little look at the carb and see what's going on there with that, just those pilot screws, mixture screws. Give them a little bit of a twiddle around and stuff. Got to do the front brake pads, so that'll be all probably in the next video, or some of it will be anyway. And yeah, I want to have a look at the, I don't really want to, but I probably should have a look at the valve clearances, like the tappet clearances, whatever you want to call it. I can't remember what you call it, lash, that sort of thing, you know, between the rockers and stuff, and make sure nothing's come loose under there. I think it is just a noisy lifter. Hopefully it's not wearing a lobe off the cam, because it is a comp cam that's in this motor. But it's been in there this long, so it shouldn't have worn one off like through bad manufacturing. It might have just worn one off through bad oiling or something, but hopefully not, because that would suck. Also, the universal joint, I forgot I did that, and my little beauty project with some eyebrows on the old headlights. Couldn't hear or feel any weird vibrations coming from the back of the truck, so hopefully that UJ's all good. Made one big mistake, I think, that I noticed straight off the bat. Well, eventually I forgot to take the clips out when I was doing the second half of it, but I ended up, yeah, blowing the back out of the old universal, but fortunately I discovered what I was doing before I did any damage to the flange thingamy-bob. I don't know what they're called, but yeah, you know, the other bit that the UJ presses into. But anyway, that's where we're going to leave this video, because like I've got almost a full SD card just in this mucking around, and I've got to trim that down to something palatable for you guys to watch. Hopefully it is. I mean, I know it's not really, you know, exciting stuff like going and finding this old truck under a tree somewhere in Wisconsin and scraping all the mildew and shit out of it and driving it 6,000 miles back home. It is just me trying to keep my old junk on the road that I already have, let alone any new stuff. And the old bomb truck has been getting seriously neglected with other things. That and the old murder Mori took up a little bit of time as well. Not too much, but I need to get some more stuff done on that for the young fella, get it sealed up. But yeah, so that's where we're going to leave that one. If you haven't subscribed already, hit the subscribe button. It's down either in one of the corners in your screen there. I can't remember how it works when you turn it around like that. Like, share, comment. You can probably tell me what I'm doing wrong, but it's done now, and it was about 2 weeks ago from when you're watching this, possibly longer. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching, and take it easy, and peace. New wheels.